tell that to anybody.
Oh my God.
You know, she tells everybody that she's 20 years younger than all the rest of them.
Oh my
Yep.
gosh.
There's like
I'll hear on the
18
phone, she'll be like, oh yeah,
There's
there's a
18
good 15 to 18 years
Yeah.
between us. I'm
She's trying to
like,
make herself younger all the time. You know, this one and the oldest one are just a year and a half apart, but she's 20 years younger than this one.
Oh my God.
She's so full of shit. It's
well, how old are you?
62.
But she's not.
No, she's not.
56 this year.
There's only 7-year difference.
Uh-huh.
I know I look a lot younger.
That's
Thank
what I'm
you.
about to
I
ask.
appreciate
What
that.
are
You
you?
need to
Beth's
tell
gonna be-
everybody there's
Leo
like
Matt's gonna be
15 to
50.
18.
Uh-huh.
I usually say about 12. I usually
I
say
got one.
12 years apart. 10 and 12 years apart.
Huh?
Jonathan believes me half of the time. I go
Jonathan's-
out to lunch with Jonathan and his guy friends,
Yeah.
and I'll say, damn, I said, Jonathan, I'm going to be 44 this year. He's like, geez. Everyone just looks... he doesn't. It's like...
Yeah,
He's the same
She's
age as
clueless.
Wesley.
Oh
Wesley
my
was born the
God.
first part of February, and Jonathan
Yeah.
was born 2 weeks later. Because when Ruthie and Delmer came out to visit us, she said, I got something to tell you, Joni. And I said, what? She said, I'm pregnant. I said, you are? I said, you're going to have a boy this time? She said, I don't know. She said, when are you going to have a baby? I said, oh, I don't know. So then when I found out that I was pregnant, I called her and I said, guess what? I'm going to have a baby. And she said, when? I said, 2 weeks after you have yours.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so, yeah, Jonathan was born the 27th of February,
Now, where was he born at though?
St. Elizabeth's Hospital.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Mhm. And then we moved, she was born at St. Elizabeth's too, and then after she was about, let's see, we went out there in February. She was about, what, a year?
66.
Huh?
February of 66. So I was about 6 months old. Wow.
And then that went back there.
Was born down
I don't
there.
know,
then.
where
She
Yeah.
said she was
Hatched
hatched.
there.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can believe it. On the desert.
But my dad's brother had a boy. And
No, we had a boy first.
Right. How many years between Clay and Jonathan?
They're very close in age.
Right.
All the kids are the same.
We're all spaced apart. So
The same
my
distance of years.
my dad's brother had a boy. 18 months later had a girl. 7 years later had a girl.
Oh my gosh.
Same way we did.
Really?
hmm And they lived here, and we lived in New Mexico.
So are you acquainted with them now or no?
I am
Not much.
somewhat.
I
Yeah.
tried
Kind
to
of a
stay
little
out
bit
of
on
it.
Facebook.
I
But
know,
we
I
were
can't.
told when we moved back here that we were not to have anything to do with them.
They're,
They
and
were
I
a wild
still
child.
don't want to be close to them. I eliminate everything that I get from the oldest one because,
Clay?
no. The oldest
She's
girl.
talking about
Renee?
Yes.
Oh, I don't have a problem with Renee. I hang out with Renee.
Well, you don't do anything with her either, but it just pisses me,
Yeah.
ticks me off because of the stuff that
Well,
she
you're right,
says and
Renee
does.
drinks and parties.
She's pretty,
and,
she's a pretty
she's a
loose.
she's a beautiful girl. She
She's
looks
very
like
pretty.
she looks like one of your Baywatch babes.
Really?
I mean, she's just a beautiful girl. And if you got it, why not?
Yeah.
You know, more power to you.
Yeah.
No, she flaunts it and
So
she
what?
advertises it. No, I don't believe in that shit.
I don't know. I think
I'm
back
pretty
in,
sure
back
when
in
you
your
were
day,
15,
back in your
you
day,
had
you were
blonde
flaunting
hair
it
and,
right.
That's not what you told
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
I
Ooh,
know.
what did she tell Jonah Lynn?
I didn't go around having guys like she had. Well, look at the pictures she sends from the clubhouse or from
It doesn't matter.
Oh, it
she's
doesn't to
50
you.
some odd years old.
Well, then
She's
she
an
should
adult.
act it. She's got
She's
3
an
kids.
adult.
She should act it.
She been married or no?
Yeah, she does. She has three boys.
No, one died.
No, I think she has a stepson in there. And yes,
That's
she
not
has
hers.
one that passed away. I think it was 7.
Oh,
He was
really?
7 years
Yeah.
old. He died of cancer.
Mm-hmm.
6 years old or 7.
Oh my gosh.
But she's known to be the Connie Ho,
Yeah.
and I
I
tell her
thought you
that's
said
the
the
thing,
Connie Ho.
What did you think I said?
Connie Ho.
Oh,
Oh my god. Oh jeez.
I don't know. I've never heard that reputation. I know a lot of people in Collinsville, but I've never heard. She's very friendly, very nice.
oh yeah, she's very big mouth. Yeah, all the time.
What?
Pink boots and her pink motorcycle. Yeah, yeah, she's a real good girl. All she talks about is drinking.
She keeps a job. She's had her job at the law firm for
Yeah,
how
because
many
she
years?
screws
This cheese is
every
really
lawyer
good.
that's there.
How do you know that?
Everybody at the law firm knows it. I worked right across the street from her.
Okay, that's not bite.
And then she wondered why I don't answer her stupid notes she put on my windshield at night.
Oh my God.
I don't want anything to do with her.
Yeah.
I kept my kids away from her ever since we moved back from New Mexico, and
Must
that
be
was in
raising her blood
19.
pressure. She's pulling up her sleeves now.
Yeah.
She's getting ready to fight.
When we moved back here, we went to visit them, and the kids were all small then, and went to visit her. And Wayne was still alive then, my husband's brother.
Right, they used to come down and visit on motorcycles, Wayne and Peggy.
Yeah,
They look like Bob or
no.
no?
And so I took the kids up there to meet them because they never knew them when they grew up in Albuquerque. And we went up there to meet them. And the kids went downstairs, and they were all young kids. And she and I are sitting upstairs talking, and Wayne, my husband's brother, was at work. He worked at Monsanto. And we're sitting there talking. Pretty soon I hear this motor downstairs in the basement. And I said to Peggy, the mother, I said, "What in the hell is going on?" And my 3 kids are down there, and they were little then.
Yeah.
And she said, "Oh, I don't know, the kids are playing." And I flew down the steps. Goddamn kid, he was cutting the rug with a goddamn power lawnmower.
Oh my God.
That was it. That was it. I never went back in that house again. And I said, "We're not going back."
They
Remember
were
that?
cutting the
I
rug
thought
with
they
a
were lighting
lawnmower.
gasoline.
I remember lighting
Yeah.
little fires in the
Yeah.
basement.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and I said, "You know what? I'm by myself with 3 kids to raise. They
Yeah.
haven't been raised this way, and I'll be damned." And Wayne and Peggy were both pretty heavy beer drinkers. I mean, they drank to the point where they were, and they did that when we lived here, before we ever left. And we were in Albuquerque for 14 and a half years.
Wow,
So
14 and a half.
yeah. So, and I said, "Nope, I'm washing my hands of it." Didn't know anything about her. And then when I got I guess it was my Jeep that I was driving.
Zuzu.
Huh?
You're a Zuzu.
Yeah, my Zuzu. It looks like a Jeep. And my license plate was Geddes 1, my last name and number
Okay.
1. And I got off the Metrolink one day and I go to my car and there's a sticker on it. I thought something, I got a ticket for something. What the hell's wrong with my car? I go pick it up and it says, "We must be related because my last name is Geddes too. Call me." I thought, what the hell is this? So I called it, of course, and it was her. So that's where we became acquainted
Oh my
again.
God.
That was it. She's been down at the lake, what, twice now?
Yep, her and her boys.
She was down there first time with her boyfriend, so she thought. Till she found out he was a girlfriend. Oh, no, you don't know. What is he?
No, I don't know where she gets her stories from, but no, they were together for 4 years, 4 or 5 years.
Yes, but she found out he was gay. She said that.
I did not hear that.
Where the hell were you? You were drunk.
No.
She was
She
downstairs
said
cutting
she
the
found
carpet
out he
with
was
the
gay.
lawnmower.
Did you hear that?
Yes.
I wasn't there the
She
first
wasn't
time she
there.
was there.
No, that wasn't the first time. He was with her the first time on a motorcycle.
Yeah, he met Jonathan.
And he met Jonathan. And he
was
seemed
telling
like a nice enough guy. And then when she came down the second time, I said, where's your boyfriend that was with you last time?" She said, "Oh, bastard's gay."
Well, that's a problem.
Okay.
We work it out though, don't we?
I always knew you had a deep voice.
I remember,
Oh, it's your turn now.
I remember when I first started going with you, you seemed to have I had never been around people like that. I said, "Geez." Remember
Oh
that?
yeah. This is a good one.
And where was we at? Winchester?
Winchester's restaurant, yeah.
We went to eat there, that was over by Delta. And, I don't know who, somebody, I don't know, was it?
Cheryl Mary, yeah.
Well, I said, so.
He, honest to God,
We're
thought he
eating,
could
we're eating
get
in a
it.
booth there, and then I gotta go visit with people, or something. And so I thought it was something you could catch.
Yeah, no shit. Truly thought he could catch being gay.
So
And he
I stayed.
stood
just-
way back.
I
I'm like,
stood way
"Oh,
back
for
by the
God."
arch,
Yeah.
the entrance arch or exit arch, whatever way you wanna call it. I stood back there and thought, and that was, I said, gee, I'm just not around. And then you work with
My boss was.
Janine, or
Yeah.
Janae, or Janine.
Janine, my boss was gay.
Yeah, and then she had some sawed-off little lady from Texas.
Yeah.
And then then we go to VFW, and then there's this,
It's just like, Why do you know so many gay people?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm telling you, it's a virus or something. I just told us, they're
Such
all
a
over.
shoulder life, for God's sake.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
I just looked the other way now. I
Oh,
just-
shit.
Forget it. But that first time, geez. Never been around anything like it. So I'm a little bit
God.
like you and that woman with 50 years old with the pink.
Yeah. Oh my
She
God,
must have
Bill.
been here, because
Pink feather laying over
the
your
pink
head.
Heatherland.
Yeah.
Yeah, she said she was riding a pink motorcycle, and she has pink boots and a pink cowboy hat. I thought, oh, I'm impressed. Just don't come to my door.
She's perfectly fine. She's
Oh,
very nice.
Yeah. Yeah, you
Maybe
get
you
a couple
could lend
friends
her
like
your
that.
pink sweater there, Graham.
Yeah.
Oh my
There's
God.
nothing wrong with her.
It's too funny.
Every picture she's got a beer in her hand. Every picture on.
Well, you
Facebook.
could say that about Colin.
Colin was never outspoken.
Colin was a whore. Let's put it out there.
There's no doubt about it.
I mean, come on,
Jesus.
he never suppressed that.
Oh my God.
Never.
Who's
so
this?
good looking.
My
Our
nephew,
cousin.
my brother's son that died of COVID.
And he was gay.
He was gay, but you didn't see it when he was around the family.
was she?
Unless he kissed Ray or
Wore his high heels.
Uh huh.
Oh, when he dressed up for Halloween, he didn't wear high heels around the house. You dumb shit.
Oh,
He
God.
dressed up.
That you saw.
He dressed up. Well, you didn't either, unless you were hanging around the gay joints.
Somebody had to pull you out
Come
of
on,
them,
come on,
Grandma.
come on, come on, come on.
You don't think that I went down to Club Escapade with them? I don't have a problem going to gay bars. Doesn't bother me at all. They're people just like you and I.
That's fine if he does it in the gay bars, but he never did it around me.
That's the difference.
Well,
You
what's her
just
name
didn't see
isn't
it.
doing it around you either.
Right.
She advertises on Facebook though. He sends it to me.
So
The
did
the
Colin.
granddaughter there, or the daughter's kind of getting overwhelmed.
Oh shoot, she went to Colin's birthday party then when they
50th
had
birthday party.
they had
The actresses and actors dressed up in drag.
Oh, you're
they
kidding
had drag
me.
people come in and
Oh, my
sing and
God.
dance and
That'd have been all right. It'd been all right, wasn't it?
Oh no, my brother came down the steps and goes, you need to explain some things to your daughter. You're gonna have some issues. Thank God.
Yeah, he's very straight laced.
Yeah.
yeah.
Jonathan is?
Yeah.
So is this one.
Oh my God, yeah, right.
Not
Sister-
as much as
Sister
Jonathan
Mary
is.
Frances. This poor kid doesn't know anything.
Hello.
Yeah, she said they're eating cheese.
Oh,
I'm
my
learning as I
God.
go here.
Oh, jeez.
I'm learning that mom's not afraid to go to a gay bar, and they're just as human as you and I. And
Unless they wear pink boots.
Right, a pink motorcycle, and they have a pink cowboy hat.
And we're not changing
And
And
grandma.
they're
They might be,
advertising.
then they're a hoe.
Yeah, I thought, man, I never heard that word before.
Oh my God.
Gee, and I'm thinking, that was kind of opinionated.
Yeah,
We
they,
already knew
Oh,
that.
I already knew this.
I heard something there.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, I hit that. Oh, oh, God.
uh-huh.
Yeah, hell or high water, we ain't changing our mind.
No way.
Okay.
No way.
Oh my
What are
God.
you eating?
Jeez.
Oh,
It's good.
I thought you were eating paper.
No.
God.
Taking it all in.
Oh Lord.
No,
Mm-mm-mm.
Oh God.
Crazy, crazy.
Grandma Joni be out whoring around in her new shirt with her fox on gift.
With my what on?
With your new shirt with the nut.
You'll wear that at Dollar General there in the hood. See how far you get. Those bitches will beat the shit out of you with that on. They're rough.
Oh my God.
Belleville is rough.
Really?
Yeah, it is. I'm
Oh,
trying
my
to get
Yeah,
out.
how's Detroit? We always hear down here that Detroit is really wild,
Not too bad for us, is it?
isn't it?
It's kind of all divided
think
by
about it
sections.
whenever I
There's
see
some
something.
sections, yeah, we definitely stay away from there really bad, but
Well, that's like us in North County. We don't go anywhere near North County.
Really?
That's where they're shooting each other for
whatever reason.
Just for
Whatever,
shits
just-
and grins.
Uh-huh.
Really?
That sounds like Toledo.
Through the
though.
windows, nobody they know, just
Yeah,
go
sounds
down,
like
bang, bang,
Toledo.
bang.
I'd say it's even worse, but I don't
Oh
know,
my God.
but I never heard of this, what you said, Belleville? That's bad.
Mm-hmm.
Belleville's really,
Yeah,
Belleville
yeah.
is, East St. Louis has moved up the hill.
Yeah, all the blacks from East St. Louis that were really rough are in Belleville now, so
And that's kind of
We
where
don't-
you folks are from?
That's
yeah,
where we're
that's
at.
where
They
we
live.
live. I will not leave the house at dark.
That's what you're saying, oh, really? And that's why you're saying
No.
that she goes down 2 blocks, or
To get,
2 houses
yeah,
down? Just to kind of
catch
keep
the
it.
bus,
yeah.
yeah.
I just don't want
Really?
people knowing where I live.
Well, that's true,
Yeah.
I understand, I respect that. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Well,
too
But
bad.
you just have to be
try to
very
stand
cautious of
on
what you're
spot.
doing.
Is
Know
it?
your surroundings.
Yeah, when where I live north, so
East side, west
yeah,
side.
east side.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, you
'cause
live
we
in a
hear a
what?
lot.
Southwest.
Southwest, and it's called
Yeah,
Mexican
like
town, or?
Mexican town.
Yeah.
Is that where you're at, is in the Mexican part, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're safer there because you've got your own group there, right?
Yeah, it's mixed, but usually east side and west side is where all the crime happens. So is the north side is more like the richer area, like Indian Village.
No, in Detroit.
Yeah.
Gross Point. So
But it's
like
always
my
on the
phone.
news that like the east and west, that's the ones we stay away from.
Yeah.
So we're gonna take mom no
Seven
matter what the
miles.
Yeah,
streets.
no shit.
6 miles.
Yeah.
Fuck's like it, mom?
Yeah, no, I can tell. Yeah.
East Point.
East Point's not too bad. Not where I'm at, but you're getting close to 8 Mile and that's where it's bad.
Yeah, that one's real.
But do you feel comfortable like going out at night in your area?
Certain spots I do, like I only go if it's well lit, but it's not too bad yet.
Well, I won't take her at all anymore. We don't go out at night at all. It has to be,
So is it rough in your area
Yeah.
too, though?
the whole city of Belleville is.
Wow.
Her
Yeah,
actual
the whole-
neighborhood is not.
How big is
but
that?
Not her neighborhood.
Pardon?
How
How
big
big
is,
is Belleville?
44,000.
huh?
44,000.
People, right?
54,000.
44.
Google it. Oh, I didn't have my phone. I'll Google it.
It used to be
Well,
44. That's all I know.
So it's a pretty good size.
It's a nice sized town. It used to be nice, but what happened was at the time that the
What the hell's that?
Fire truck.
Oh,
Ambulance.
Right there, there it goes.
oh my
Here.
God.
they had a program on 60 Minutes years ago.
Yeah.
This was in the
Remember?
80s, late 80s when it happened.
That the cops would go from there's a hill between Belleville, and when it dips down to an armor level from a hill, that's the end of it, and East St. Louis line is there, and the cops would line up at the bottom of that hill.
There was something on TV one
Yes.
time about
60 Minutes or something, one of
It
those.
was
And
60
when
minutes.
you said Belleville, I said, wait a minute, like a bell went off, not because of Belleville. And I'm thinking, now the stories you tell me, like they
Yeah.
would go so far and they would stop.
Yep.
So they didn't want to enter into that area because of the fear of the
They would
losing
stop
their lives.
anybody
They-
coming across.
They stopped every black person that
something,
tried to
there was
get
a-
up the hill
Yeah.
into Belleville. And yeah, it was on 60 Minutes.
Yep,
Oh my
and
God.
everybody in her age bracket blames the decline of Belleville to that particular show.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, because they showed what they showed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Mhm.
You see,
And now, as a result, of course, East St. Louis, a lot of the people, the original good black people, and there were good black people, just like there are good white people and assholes of
Right.
white people.
right.
But they started moving out and heading up the hill. Then the stores in East St. Louis started dissipating. Up the hill, more of them
40,009 people.
Oh,
Just 40,000 people.
Yeah,
live in
there
Belleville,
used to be
exactly.
44,000.
it used to be 50.
How
It
many
used to be
is in
50
St.
some
Louis?
odd
But-
thousand because
But
that
they
doesn't
started
make
moving
sense.
up the hill,
They're
and
moving out though. of
it seems
Illinois.
like we've gotten the worst of them because they're not taking care of the properties.
26
And
and a half
they-
thousand.
They,
Let me see your phone for a
they
second.
walk in 10 and in groups of 10 and 14, and it's scary. Well, she called me when I was in New Mexico, scared shitless because she was on my back porch upstairs on the second floor porch, and there were, 10 or 12 boys
No, probably more like 8.
on the front porch in the front of the house, and they were all African Americans, and I'm in New Mexico on vacation, and she's at home by herself, and she's in tears because she doesn't know what to do.
I think I called Melinda at the time.
And I said, call the police and report it. And I said, you stay on the phone until something happens, and don't. I said, where are you? She said, I'm hiding on the porch off the bedroom upstairs. There were 3 porches on the house, 2 down and 1 up. And so she was upstairs, and I said, well, stay in the far corner and stay back there and be very quiet. You leave the phone open. I want to hear everything that's going on. I said, call the police. She said, I already did. I said, okay, you hang on the line. So she hung on the line, and we waited until I heard the siren, and I said, is that the siren that I'm hearing? And she said, yeah, they're coming. And then she said, okay, they're running. They're running over to Main Street, which was
You're all
the Main
scattered.
Street. There was 2 blocks down to
They
Main
tried to
Street.
rob the house?
No,
And they
not
took off
necessarily.
running,
It's just
she
that they
said,
don't need to
like,
be in somebody
deer
else's
down
yard.
there to get out, you know. And then my house was robbed, 4 years ago?
Right by? I think
Longer
it was
than that.
2016.
There was a black man that lived a block over from me. I live on this side of the street, this is the other side of the street, and on this other side of this street, he lived over there facing that way. And he just sat there day in and day out. He was a black man, and he just sat there when you go by, he was just like, well, that was when she was little, and I'd go down to Julie's, and sometimes I'd go down and spend the night with him, sometimes I'd go down and, that's when you were still in school, weren't you?
No.
Were you
Living
not
at
already?
Julie's.
You were living.
But I
You
was
were
there a
living
lot,
there.
yeah. And I'd go down to Julie's house where he would watch me, because I'd go over to the house, unlock the house, go through the whole house, and I still had the cats in the house, so I'd feed them, take care of them, get my mail, get in the car, drive down to Julie's, which is only like a half a mile away. And he would watch me every night, unbeknownst to me. And then I go by one night, and I take her with me, because I go and pick up the mail, pick her up at school, go by my house, pick up my mail before I take her down to her mother. And my drapes are hanging out the front window, double windows, out of the window and down on the ground, because I had 9.5-foot ceilings, so it came out, it was hanging in the grass. And I looked, and I said to her, I said, someone's been in my house, because my lace curtains are hanging on the grass in the front yard. They're still connected in the house, but they're blowing out the window on the ground. So I unlocked the door,
Declining.
went
Because it was in the 50,000s, now it's
Went in.
dropping.
went into the
I wonder why.
house.
Mhm.
He had
Smart
gone
people.
through every room in the house. It was 8 rooms and 2 full baths. And it was everywhere. And so I called the kids and told them, and they said, you didn't go in the house, did you? And I said, yeah, I'm in the house. And
And
Yeah.
left me in the car.
yes, I locked you in the car.
And you left me in the car, and I had to go pee.
And
So I burst
yeah.
out, and then the alarms went off.
And I told her, stay in the car. There's someone has been in my house. I've got to find out what's going on. You stay here. I'm locking you in. If something happens, you push the alarm on the car, because the
Never
car
should've.
has the
Yeah.
alarm. So I go in the house, and at the front door is the entryway, dining room, family room, kitchen, living room, all the way in the front, and a straight staircase up to upstairs. So I go straight up the steps, because I could see shit was all over the floor every place. I mean, it was this deep. And I go running up the steps, and I'm up there looking at the line. And everybody told me after that I was nuts to go in, because I didn't know what I'd meet. But I was so pissed off.
Yeah.
So I'm running around up there, and I come around the corner, and I'm looking down at the other bedroom, because there were 4 bedrooms and bath up, and I'm looking around the corner. Here she is sneaking up the steps, because she has to take a leak and scared the holy hell out of me.
Also, remember I unlocked the car, and the alarm went off. And I think you heard that, maybe. I don't know.
So anyway, she's in the house, so I screamed and yelled at her, and she went potty, and then I picked up the phone, and I called the police, and then I called all the kids, and they came over, and they said, when they got there, the cops, of course, had been there, I think, already. And I said, are you going to take fingerprints? And they said, we don't take fingerprints. I said, what do you mean you don't take fingerprints? I said, somebody's been through my house, and I had no idea who it was. And he said, no, we don't take, they don't give us anything. And I thought, that was kind of stupid, but Belleville cops are that way. And so they took all the information and they left, and we locked up while we could, because he took something and pried the lock off of the Pell window in the front. And from there, then the next day I went to every garbage can I took off Thursday and Friday, And I went to every garbage can and looked at every garbage can and stood on the hood of my car and on the top of my car looking in the garbage, seeing if I could find, because he took a lot of my squash blossom necklaces and a lot of my appliances, my mink coat, all kinds of stuff out of the house.
Oh my God.
So we reported it to the police, and those idiots came out. I said, aren't you gonna take fingerprint? No, we don't do that. We'll take some pictures. Well, so what's missing? I looked at him and I said, you gotta be shitting me. And he said, what do you mean? And I said, there's 8 rooms here and you want me to give you a list of what's missing? And he just looked at me like, like I was stupid. I said, I can't tell you what's missing. Well, how are we gonna know what he took? I said, it just happened. I just walked in the door.
Yeah.
So he said, well, we'll get back with you. And so then I went to work the next day. The kids said, you're gonna go to work? Well, the next day I went, that was the day I went and shopped all around, looking at every place for it. Because I got the big park behind me and the pond, and I thought
You
maybe
took
I'll
off
do
work too,
something.
didn't you?
Huh? Yeah, I took off
No,
work.
Jennifer did.
I was off work.
Jennifer
I
did.
took off work too.
Yeah. Yeah, we met in the paper, and you went running down the street one day.
And what is,
Well, yeah, because we solved this between the two of us
We
ourselves.
found him.
We found him,
Mm-hmm.
and we called the police and said, okay,
Yeah.
this is where he's at, this is where Mom's stuff is,
On the
you
back
need to go
porch,
get it.
covered with a rag rug. Jonathan had brought me
that
over.
guy that you,
Yeah.
that
That
watched,
broke into
They
the
broke into her
house.
house, uh-huh.
that was the guy.
That was him. And I didn't want to take my car down because I knew he would recognize my car.
So we
So
took mine.
I talked to her, and she said, I'll bring my car over and we'll take my car because he won't know it. So because his drive was from a street here and there was a street up here. So to get from this point to this point, you had to go through that driveway, right past him, and he always sat there like that on the back porch. He didn't do a damn thing. He wasn't even on Section 8, the old black bitch that he was living with was. He wasn't even supposed to be in the building. He was there illegally. And so he was sitting on the porch, and I thought if he sees me drive through, he's going to know that I know in Hartown what the hell he's going to do, because you don't know what those people are doing if they're going to come in and break in. So I got her, she came over in you had a
Norm's
truck. Yeah, she came over in his truck, and we went on in back by his house, from this road to this road to the street, go around the corner. There's the 36-inch fan on wheels, sitting up against the building on the side with a rag rug thrown over it. I said, there's the fan. That's the fan. And it was Jonathan's fan. He brought it over because I had water in the basement. And I said, that's my fan. She said, are you sure? I said, I'm sure. So we pull out of there. There's a cop across the street at McDonald's. No, Kentucky Fried Chicken. He's writing out a speeding ticket for a
Yep.
woman. And I walked over, pulled up next to him. I didn't walk up, pulled up next to him, and I said, pardon me, sir. And he was a smart ass, and he said, I'm writing a ticket now. I said, I'd like to talk to you for a minute. I'm writing a ticket. Wait just a minute. So we waited, and I told him, and he said, okay, all right, I'll write it down. He didn't do a damn thing then, did he?
It was the next day.
Yeah, so we left. And
Oh.
so then I went to work that next day, and I got on the computer, and I was working at the law firm in St. Louis, and I pulled him up on the computer. Not him, I didn't know who
Well,
he
you-
was.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
but
you
the
didn't have a
neighbor
name
across
yet.
the
The
street
neighbor-
too played a part into
Yes,
that.
you
Yeah,
did.
had a black couple across the street, a young couple. And he came over and he said, what's going on? And I told him. And he said, well, we've got
Video.
video on the house. He said, I don't know if we picked up anything, but he said, I'll go home and check it. And he went home and checked it, and he had him on the video. But of course he was black, and what do you see of a black person when you're
And
in
he
the
had a
video?
hoodie on.
Yeah.
He had a
So
black
you
hoodie
couldn't
on.
see
and
And you
Yeah.
saw him go
Yeah.
back and forth, back and forth.
With a wagon. He filled the freaking wagon and drug it over to his house,
Oh my
empty
He
it,
was there for like
and
5
drag it
hours.
back.
During the
He was-
daytime or
no,
not?
No,
Nighttime.
nighttime.
He was there from 11 p.m. until 4 a.m. in the morning,
Wow.
loading and going back and forth. Now I've got neighbors on both sides.
Melinda wasn't there.
Well, that she would have helped anyway. But Ignatz was on the other side of me, and he sits in right there, and he glares over at my house all the time out of his living room, but he was probably,
In bed by 8 o'clock.
yeah, he was probably in bed. Nobody else saw anything. Went outside, we found the wheels from something being pulled across the yard. So he was loading a wagon or a wheelbarrow. We didn't know, well, we thought it was a wagon because there were two wheels
Yeah.
that we could see prints of. And going down the hill, I'm up on a little hill about that high from the sidewalk, down the hill and into the street. But then you lost him because
Right,
it
right.
was all concrete. So I had that to go on. And then Friday, that's when I went out dumpster picking and went to all of the hawk shops in Belleville, and I wanted to go to
But
East
you
St.
didn't know
Louis.
exactly what you were looking
No.
for just
Yeah.
yet.
No, I was just looking, well, I was looking for my jewelry. I knew my jewelry was gone.
And
Yes.
Maracas said
And we had taken all of her, when we were working on getting her stuff out of the house, we wanted to get anything that was worth anything. I had taken all of her squash blossoms and they were in a bowl. And I had them all sitting by the front door and I said, Mom, they're right here.
They
Make
went in a bowl,
sure-
they were in those container, those tapestry containers.
I said,
The lid.
make sure you take these home with you.
She did.
And she didn't. And
Ah.
sure enough, he got them.
But
Yeah,
you
but
never
I-
recovered those.
Yes, I did.
Yes,
Really?
we did.
I got them all but three,
Two?
I think, three, I think it was 2 or 3, I don't remember
Now,
exactly.
all of you three live there, or you don't
No.
live
I
there?
live in
live
St.
there.
Louis.
She lives in St. Louis.
So you're ways from there,
Mhm.
like 20 miles?
20 minutes.
Huh?
About 20 minutes.
minutes.
Not too bad.
And
But,
the couple across the street, Maracas, knew the barber and said that this
That was
guy
his
was
uncle.
trying to sell jewelry,
Green-
turquoise,
green jewelry.
green jewelry to
Green
him.
and silver jewelry. He said, Uncle so-and-so, he said that there's someone, but he said he asked that you please don't give his name out because he said most
They'll-
of his customers are black.
Those they
So I
Don't
did
Don't
that.
retaliate.
yes they do. They have their
Wow.
own culture.
Yeah, they are the sweetest kids. And so he kept me informed, you know, he said they're down there trying to sell the jewelry and he wants to sell them for $5 and they're worth $2,500 a set. And I had 11 of them.
Oh my God.
I gave each one of the kids, you each got one, haven't you?
Uh-huh.
I don't have mine.
Yours is the white,
I have mother of pearl.
yeah. That one, I've still got that one. That one came back or he didn't take it. But the other ones, I got them all back but 2, which was fortunate.
Jan got hers. Jan
But
kept
then
hers.
Jan's got hers.
Yeah. But then
Wow.
they called me from the black kids across the street called and said Uncle so-and-so's got that gal down, or that guy down there, he's trying to sell them the necklaces. So was it green and silver? And I said, yeah, blue, green and silver, turquoise. And he said they're trying to sell them for $5 a set. But
Luckily,
don't-
nobody in Belleville knows what the hell a squash blossom
Right,
is.
right.
But
That was her
don't
saving
tell,
grace.
but don't tell them his name because he doesn't want to be in, because all of his, well, he's black. And all of his clients are black.
But even the culture, they would annihilate them. I mean, that's
Yeah.
just it.
Yeah.
I was in a murder trial, and it was from East St. Louis, and we couldn't. The state's attorney did a shitty ass job and did not prove a damn thing. Didn't do any DNA testing on the blood. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
We couldn't convict him. We knew
Right.
he did it, but we couldn't because they had no evidence.
Right.
And in our group meeting, we're like, in that culture in East St. Louis, they will kill him.
Yeah.
They will take care of their own. And
Yeah.
sure enough, he was dead within 3 months after they released him.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, well, this idiot did everything that he could. I had papers that deep on the floor. He took everything out of every place and just dumped it on the floor.
Well, he was looking for stuff.
Yeah.
But when the officers finally did go over there, he went over there and he called us and he said, he had Mom, he said, is your mom there? And I said, yeah. So he said, put the phone on. He said, I'm going to video and I want you to tell me if it's yours. And she's looking at, because she told him about the table.
Yeah.
She said, if you see the table, it was Baba's table. It's round like this and it's got a naked lady,
With a scarf across
carved
Yeah.
and it's got a glass top.
Yeah.
She said, if you see that table, that's my table. And sure enough, he saw the table.
So he knew
He-
it was.
So he videoed that, and then he just went through the apartment. Is this yours? Is this yours? Is this yours? So her KitchenAid mixer, a new fryer
Yeah, but he
that she
had a whole
got.
host of stuff that wasn't even hers. It was like he was hoarding all
He's
the
been going
robberies.
around.
Oh my God.
He had on
bringing all kinds of
shelves.
stuff.
Yeah, and my fryer that I had bought, Macy's, which used to be, what was it?
Famous and Bar.
Famous and Bar was going out of business, and I worked right across the street at the law firm across from Macy's. And I went over and bought it. That was before the air fryers came out. Bought a brand new, because I never owned a fryer. I always
Right.
fried in a pot
Right.
with a
Right.
strainer in it. So I bought it. It was in the box, in the plastic bag from Macy's, our famous, tied in a knot, ready to go out into storage or if wherever I was going to be moving to, because knew I wasn't going to stay there. And he took that and he showed that picture to me, and he said, "What about this?" And I said, "That's my damn fryer." I said, "I haven't even opened it yet." He said, "Well, it's been opened because it's got grease in it." He said, "Something's been fried," and I heard this squeaky voice say, "Well, I has to fry fish."
Oh.
He said, "There's been fish fried." I said, "I don't care if they fried a dead cat in it. Dump the damn oil out. I want it back. I can scrub it and clean it."
Yeah.
So we took that. My KitchenAid mixer that I made I don't know how many wedding cakes with was there. Showed me 2 mixers, and he said, "Which one of these belongs to you?" I said, "How many times do I have to tell you?" I said, "That was one of the things that I listed on my list as a priority." I said, "That was a gift from my daughter." I said, "I'm also looking for a Vitamix. That was a gift from my son. I want that. I want my mink coat." And he said, "Your mink coat?" "Yes." "Well, I haven't gotten to that." Then he goes in the bedroom, and Mom had a little bitty dish this long, about that high, and it was crystal. And it had an artificial gold lid on it that clamped on the top, and she kept her rings and
Yeah.
little bitty odds and ends of things that she had for jewelry. And it was sitting, the old bat had the bed made up, and where you turn the covers over the pillow and smooth it out, had it sitting in between the 2 pillows. He said, "How about this?" He takes a picture of it on the phone. And I said, "For criminy's sakes," I said, "it's a jewelry holder." He said, "Well, it's on the bed now. It's a bed ornament." I said, "It's mine." And I said, "You know what? You're across the street and on the other side of the street. Why can't I come down and get my stuff?" He said, because you may see something that you want that doesn't belong to you." Oh, I was so damn
Oh,
mad. I
shit.
thought, "You SOB."
Yeah.
Oh, I was pissed. So I
Yeah.
never got to go down there. So then I get in the
Well,
courtroom.
you don't want to be in there anyway.
Yeah, so I go to pulled him into court, we pulled him into court, and Jennifer was there, and I wasn't allowed to go in because I was the plaintiff, and he, of course, was the defendant, and I couldn't listen to his plea when they questioned him. And they started asking him about all this crap, and was that what I was gonna start? No, before that. They were showing me all the pictures of the stuff that he had, and I had to identify it. Well, when they took the picture of my KitchenAid mixer, which is the big, heavy
Yeah, oh,
mixer that
yeah.
I made my wedding cakes with, above that was a salt or a spice set. Was my grandmother's wedding present. She was born in 1895,
Oh, Jesus.
and it was, what was it? I think it was 5 pieces. The big coffee urn, the creamer,
Yeah.
the sugar, and there was some other kind of spice. I don't know what it was.
Czechoslovakia.
It was
She's got
hand
that.
painted. It was bisque,
Where?
etched in gold, all hand painted, and it was her wedding present. And he
Sitting on
showed it
the-
to, he didn't show it to me
thing
on
in
the
the dining
phone, he
room?
showed it to me in the courtroom, and I burst out crying, because it was packed.
Yeah.
So anyway, I didn't get that back,
You didn't?
no,
No.
because they didn't show it to me the first day. And then, of course, if he had hold of the damn thing, and he found out in court that it was bisque and it was gold trim, the bastard had somebody pick it up. I mean, they weren't doing
Yeah.
anything with him. He was walking around like he was dying, and then you and I were coming back from the bathroom, wasn't it? And he was walking, limping like this, like he could hardly walk, and then we got behind
I
him.
really
and he
could
came
jump
out
in
of the
that
bathroom.
window easily enough.
Yeah, and then when he came back from the bathroom, he was in front of us, and he was cutting a jig going down Mr. Hall.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you never got that back then?
No,
Mm-mm.
no,
I don't understand why though. You couldn't.
yeah. Yeah.
What
I
color
didn't-
was it?
It was white, but I'm not sure of the trim on
It
it
was
anymore
purple.
because it was already packed away
it was
to
purple.
move out of there.
I
It was
showed
either-
her a
I thought it
picture.
was white with purple.
I found a set on Marketplace.
You're thinking about the one that she had in the cabinet, I think, next to the fireplace, excuse me. That picture that was purple on the side, that had a handle on the side. It had a broken chubik on, well, that's not a chubik, you wouldn't know what a chubik is, but that's the end of, that's where you pour out of in Bohemian. And it was about this tall, and it had a picture on the front about this big with gold all around it.
I don't know.
Well, I don't know where that's at, but I didn't have that. But this was a
But yeah, he showed us a picture of the thing with the squash blossoms in it, and we're like, oh my god. Out of everything, I think that was the most important
Yeah.
was the squash blossoms.
And my Vitamix and my mixer.
Well, because Daddy got you all the squash blossoms, so.
Yeah. And then she got me the mixer.
Jonathan got you the
Jonathan
vitamins.
got me the Vitamix.
But you got that
She-
back, right?
I got those
Yeah.
back.
What is squash blossom? What is
Squash blossoms are sterling silver heavy necklaces, and they'll
Very
come down to like
ornate.
beads, like solid silver
Show 'em the
beads
picture.
all the way down, and then you'll have big pieces of turquoise that are covered. The
Yeah.
outside the turquoise is laid into the silver, and it'll come all the way down like this, and then there'll be a big claw with
It's
the
like a
same
horse
shape.
It's like a heart-shaped claw.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
They want it
Is
anywhere.
They're about
You collected
a
them or
pound or
somebody?
I got them from my husband when I had a baby,
Oh, okay.
or for anniversary,
Or some
or
special
just,
occasion,
yeah.
sure.
I had 11 of them.
Really?
I had
So
11,
just
and
never
I
heard of
gave-
such a thing. I mean,
Yeah.
squash
Yeah,
blossom.
they're not common around here, and if you wouldn't know, we saw a bunch of them today when we were out.
I think I spelled it all wrong, but
At the,
there you go.
There, yeah.
Images.
But you have to like Indian jewelry in order to like them in the first place.
Yeah,
But they're
okay.
very
Like
expensive.
that.
Like that.
Oh, wow.
And I had earrings to match them. Julie's got a set, Jennifer's got a set, my daughter-in-law has a set.
That's- see, this
I
one
like
is-
turquoise.
Yeah, but that one's not silver. That's not. You're not going to get it for $129. I'm gonna
No.
say that
No.
right now.
Yeah, the silver ones would be way more.
They're a couple grand.
Really?
Yeah.
See, there's what I needed to win the contest.
It depends,
There
it
you
depends upon the
If I'd
quality
had that on
and
that night.
Yeah.
there, I'd
and
have
Good
won.
one.
It would have been a done deal.
Yeah.
I'd have been a
it
done deal.
depends on where the turquoise is milled or dug.
Wow.
She had smaller. She had a smaller one, kind of like that.
Wow. See, I never heard of the terminology.
Yeah, they're
and I don't
called
even know what-
squashes.
Wow.
It's a New Mexico, Southwest kind of thing.
You know, I didn't know.
And they range the claw on the end, that horseshoe thing on,
Yeah.
can you get the picture up, or is that just the only picture that there is?
Was that the earring to the top?
No, that's the whole necklace.
Yeah.
There's a whole necklace there.
Or that
And
one
that's
at the back
squash.
there? I thought I seen two in the middle there.
That was just. These are close-ups.
Oh.
That's the
okay.
earrings in the back there.
Yeah.
Oh, where?
In the middle.
Oh yeah, in the middle.
Right
Sorry,
there.
sorry.
That's the earrings that go with it. But
Silver dollar?
That was for size.
See, this is faux. Chunky natural faux.
Yeah. There you go.
What the hell is natural faux?
But the
Anything like a
actual-
hoe?
The actual squash on the
Is it
back
pink?
can be that big, and
Right.
they're very heavy.
Yeah.
Does it have go-go boots?
And you don't see many people around here with them.
I'm not going there. I'm not going there. I'm not going there. I'm not
There
going
there
there.
it shows you, that's a smaller one there, showing you
Yeah.
by a quarter.
Here's a small one too, but they want $900 for it.
Yeah,
There's not
yeah.
any turquoise in it.
Well, it's silver.
It has just a little
Surely.
itty bitty turquoise in the middle.
Most of them
all
have like
depends
a
on who
horseshoe
made
at
it.
the bottom.
Yeah. So that's, yeah. It's a rounded.
I can't say I've ever seen something like that.
Yeah, they're not very
Never
popular
heard
around
the
here.
terminology. Blossom, what do you talk about? Blossom.
And the bottom part is called
Well,
the
here's
squash.
Judy's. Judy has a lot of hers on Facebook. I go
What is
to
she
her
doing with
pictures.
it on Facebook?
She wears hers.
I know
Oh,
it, but
yeah.
is it pictures of Judy or is it pictures of just the squashes?
No,
Mhm.
Judy,
Judy
wearing
wearing
the
them.
squashes. See,
Oh,
Oh,
she
yeah.
is just a picture of her.
Mm.
That's Pablo's
And that's
oldest
just-
daughter.
you're only seeing
really?
the first half of it. It'll drop down lower
She's
on her and
full
show
blood
off the-
Indian.
She got some eyebrows going on there.
Yeah,
She
she's
looks
got
like
some-
Pablo.
She's got some mean looking eyes. She's a sweet girl. She's the one that was born to his.
But don't
first
cross
wife.
her,
Yeah, oh my
because
God.
my God, she'll
There's
kill you in a
another one
heartbeat.
squash.
Yeah.
She's a tough girl.
Her and I got along great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
She's
she's very
something
friendly
else.
with our family.
She's
a
pretty.
Pretty
Yeah,
girl.
very.
But her
Yeah,
mother
great
died in
hair.
childbirth.
There's
Aw.
that's Paula.
Could she be like Russian maybe?
No, she's full-blood Indian.
She's full-blooded Indian, Navajo.
Did you say Navajo or not a hoe? Because she doesn't wear
Both.
pink boots.
Oh, she's
None.
she's
None.
party.
She's a nun.
She could be a little bit of the hoe.
She's got there's a really, really
don't
good
get none.
picture of her someplace that I'm aware.
I don't know where she would have a really, really good.
Yeah,
You guys.
beautiful
Jeez,
picture.
man.
most of the time she
Oh, this is a
does.
video?
Judy's June?
That's her dad.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Her eyes.
Oh, yeah.
She's a sultry looking little.
Yeah, she looks like she could be like,
Mhm.
her eyes could about burn a hole through
She'd
it.
beat the hell out of you if you did
Uh-huh.
something wrong.
Huh?
Yeah. Oh,
She
yeah.
can hold her own. She used to
she's
ride at the
strong.
rodeos.
Really?
Oh,
she's
yeah.
a rodeo rider. So was Pablo, very popular rodeo rider.
Really?
Paulo wasn't, and the other, the little boy that was, he adopted.
That was June 6th. That's her dad.
That's her
That's
father.
Pablo.
Now, that used to be a good looking guy.
That
when
guy
he was
looks
young.
like some mayor of some city we see on TV to me. Mayor Gouch or
He's been
Goach or
very, very ill.
Gouch or what was that guy's name? Or
I don't know. I don't think-
Chicago
no, I don't have a picture of
or
him
New
in
York?
my
What was
wallet.
it?
Her,
Gouch?
she had a son too, but he was 14 when he died, or 13.
13 when he committed
13.
suicide.
Like him?
No, yes, this is her son that passed away.
Oh, man.
Yeah, she came home from work and called his name and he didn't answer. Called her nephew and said, "Have you seen? I can't remember his name now. Have you seen him?" And he said,
Michael Pablo Andres.
She said, "Yeah." And see, he came home on the bus and she said, "Well, where did he go?" She said, "I don't know." She went look and he shot himself in the bedroom.
I thought he hung himself.
I know he hung himself
No,
too.
he shot himself.
Yeah, that's what my nephew did. In Minoka, he shot himself in the bedroom.
I didn't think Pablo was that cute looking.
He was.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
He's
Pablo-
got some huge ass ears. Did you
Yeah.
see that?
Yeah,
Well, that's
yeah.
it. But that's.
He looked like Waylon.
Now find the pictures of the other guys.
Those
What
are
other
the
The
guys?
four guys.
Oh, her uncles.
Yes, find their picture. Those are
Look at
some
Mom,
good
you
looking
think that's
guys.
attractive?
I think he looks. I think he's a
He
good
can
looking
fly.
guy.
Their uncles.
He can fly
Their
without
uncles.
wings.
I mean, you look breaking my judgment. You see
Fly
that?
without wings.
Yeah, he doesn't look like that. He didn't look like that when I met him either.
But I mean, I think he's a good looking guy.
He was
honestly.
a very good looking
There's
guy.
our squad.
You know, high
Yeah.
cheekbone, looked like he was
There's one
like,
of them.
Oh, that's
you know,
beautiful.
quite a gentleman, really.
That's her birthday present to herself.
Really? Aw.
I mean, he looked like he could hang.
Well, I'm sure she has connections, so she
he
doesn't
could
have to
hang
pay
clothes
the
on his ears. I
retail.
mean, he could hang
Right.
with a hanger.
She's making fry bread. Well,
Yeah, he
how
was-
long ago was that, Jennifer?
It's been several months ago.
What are you looking for a picture of?
The uncles.
Who's the kid that she babysits now?
That's
Luca?
Yeah.
Well, that's another story. I'm not really sure how that.
I don't see that picture, Jennifer.
Luca was her boyfriend's cousin's little boy, and his wife went away from him, and so he got
She was a hoe.
Luca. Yeah, he was. Oh, that one. What was his name? The one that was down. I don't know if you were there. Or if it was
Oh, yes.
on the motorcycle.
Renee?
No, it wasn't Renee. She made a good.
I'm looking for some men on here.
I can see him.
Yeah, Candido.
Candido.
Yeah, Candido.
I thought that was Paula.
Nuh-uh.
Candido?
Is that
Candido.
with Paula?
No,
Who's Paula
No,
with?
Lovey.
Oh.
Andy.
Lovey is his name.
I don't think his name's Lovey, but
No, his name
everybody
is
calls him-
Rufus or something like that. He's got a strange name, but he's as sweet as he can be.
I don't see her uncles on here at all.
there's a picture of four of them.
I
And
know.
But the
Oh,
Indians
good
are
looking
they're
guys.
Good-looking guys. They have the high cheekbones and
They're
the
built.
olive skin.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Her brothers?
Her
Or his?
uncles.
Her uncles.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could see that in her father's picture, the
The cheekbones
the
and
cheekbone and the resemblance.
And now he's got the bird legs and the big belly.
Yeah,
There's-
so he's 80.
They're not on here.
He's 80 some years old. How old is he? He was born in 33.
Same as Daddy.
Yeah, so he would be what?
89? Is that what we figured out earlier?
Yeah.
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 Something like that.
Yeah, and he's been very ill, and he's very heavy set now. But he was a very attractive man. He worked at the University of New Mexico in their maintenance department. And I think he had an evening out with every one of the girls that played
Volleyball.
on the volleyball team, on the tennis team, on the baseball team,
Oh my
on the
gosh.
softball. Yeah, he was quite the man.
Yeah.
And he was built. And he wore his hair was down to his butt in a huge black braid. Just his hair pulled straight back. And
It's a
then
picture
braid.
like on Paula's,
I don't have Paula, but here's your picture.
Picture of
there it
Ruthie.
is,
There's
the
your
uncles.
Those are his brothers. It says my handsome uncle and his handsome son. So
Oh.
uncle, cousins.
Oh,
So that's her
damn.
uncle, and he looks like Pablo.
That is Pablo. Who is it?
I
Who's it
can't
from?
be, Mom, because that's this year. That doesn't look like Pablo. Compared to June, this is July. If it was June 6th and he looked like shit.
Who's it from?
I'm just saying. What do you want me to
So
say?
that's Pablo's brother.
This is Judy's picture, and it says my handsome uncle, which I'm going to put it at that one, and his handsome
Oh, yeah.
sons.
Okay, it's
So these
Pablo's
are her
brother.
cousins.
It's Pablo's brother
yeah, that would make
Yeah,
sense.
that would make sense.
and his
Uh-huh.
sons.
And they all live on the reservation?
They can. I don't know if they do now or not. It all depends on what they do.
They don't have to be full-blooded Indian to live on the reservation now, right?
I don't know what they're.
Well, because
they
Paula's
changed.
there. Isn't Paula on the reservation?
Yeah, but you have to understand that
Paula's
Paula is
daughter of a
Pablo's
governor.
right. That was
Mm.
not.
He was the governor
Yeah.
for all the time we were
And I
there.
often heard up our way, and maybe there's nothing to it, but if you have some ancestry to the Indians, I don't know if it's up around our area or like around in Michigan, Indiana or something. If you have some hereditariness to the Indians, that you'll get, in that tribal thing, you'll get so many dollars a year payment.
Mm-hmm.
Like it could be a lot of
Cherokee
money.
has that too.
Mhm.
Cherokee
Or maybe
Cherokee
that's what it
Nation is big in
Maybe that's what it is.
Check the Mountain Dew in the freezer.
Pablo's daughter,
Some Indian thing.
Judy, is a full-blooded Indian. That's the girl that was
Is this
born
what?
to he and his first wife, and she died in childbirth, his wife. So he's raised Judy from birth. And Judy lives on the reservation, and she was living in an old adobe home, which is the plaster over the
chicken wire.
Huh?
Chicken wire.
Well, the blocks are made out of straw and
mud.
mud, and they lay them out and let them dry, and then they stack them up. And her house was pretty old. It was livable, but they came out and checked it out and said that. Oh,
Cute.
that's a good picture. And since she is full-blooded Indian, and she was working for the tribe, they built her a new house.
Somebody tired?
Or out.
Your shit.
I know, right?
Or out.
So they built her a brand new house, tore down her house and built, she's got a brand new home now on the reservation.
But that's,
But
yeah,
she's
maybe it's
very-
Cherokee, but there's some Indian ancestry, if you have or something, you get